Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm Jonathan Friedman alongside Mark Z today. Mark, always a pleasure to be with you.
Always great to be alongside of you, Jonathan.
And we're coming to you today from the offices of Tarlow, Hart, and Rodgers. And so our topic today is talking to various attorneys and talking about various aspects of the legal profession. And our next guests in the studio come from Burns and Levinson, Heather Cahill and Bryce Helfer. Welcome to Radio Entrepreneurs. If you want to give us an overview of the firm and talk a little bit about Burns and Levinson, what you guys do?
Sure. We're both attorneys at Burns and Levinson in the private client group. Burns and Levinson is a full-service law firm with business litigation, business corporate development, real estate, employment law. The private client group in particular has three aspects. It has the estate planning, estate litigation, and family law. So that's three different groups within private client. I focus my practice on estate and trust litigation, guardianships, conservatorships, and family law.
It's great. And I work in the estate planning side, as you know, from when I was here last time. And we routinely work with families. A lot of times my interaction with them is sort of on the planning aspect, as opposed to Heather that also works with families, but more in a litigation aspect. And so from my role, we try to work with families to sort of promote harmony, whether it's sort of in the current state or from years down the line.
And you wanted to talk about a topic that obviously today that seems somewhat complex, and that is competing rights of half-siblings.
If you're from a traditional planning aspect, which is really non-existent for the most part today, you have two spouses, they would have 2 or 3, 4 kids, all from the same marriage, and the planning basically consisted of they would leave everything to the surviving spouse. When the surviving spouse passes away, everything would go to the kids. And now with sort of more modern family landscapes, that mindset sort of goes out the window. And sort of you have to ask questions, how are you going to treat your children differently? There's issues that more of the assets come from one of the spouse, and is it fair for everything to go to the survivor, and then the survivor can potentially do what they want in terms of dividing those assets, unless structure is put in place to prevent that.
So it's really important to plan and to have these communications and these discussions before any parent becomes maybe incapacitated later in life, or dies at unexpectedly, or maybe at an old age. But it's important just to have those conversations and to plan so that the intent of the parents is carried out after their death.
Estate planning, unfortunately, in the legal world, it can be one of those things where people tend to feel like they have a need for it, but it's very easily sort of kicked down the line in terms of getting it done. It can often take 6 months, a year for a client that has a relatively simple situation of kids in terms of planning what they want to do with their assets. So then you take a family that has kids from prior marriages or half siblings, and you have to have conversations with your clients and ask difficult questions about how they want to treat everyone.
And then within the families themselves, they need to have those hard conversations too. And those are difficult conversations to have, and it's a hard thought to think of what happens when I die, what happens when you die, what together do we want to happen to our assets.